Today's lesson is day one of classifying quadrilaterals. Our learning target is that we are learning to recognize, draw, and categorize two-dimensional shapes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to group those quadrilaterals. I sent you the link to this types of lines video in a Gmail. It's a YouTube video link. Please, if you have not watched that, stop and watch that first. It was our opener for today. It's a cool little 2-minute song talking about types of lines. That is an attribute we're going to be looking at and talking about with quadrilaterals. So I just want to make sure that you know particularly what parallel lines are. If you will take out your Unit 4 tip chart from your math folder, this should be your second word, quadrilateral. The information, it's a polygon with 4 sides and 4 angles, also known as corners. For the pictures right here, if you will just pick one of the 5 quadrilaterals that you like best, if you have a favorite or a favorite color, you don't have to color it in, and just draw that one quadrilateral for in the picture column. A rhombus is one kind of quadrilateral. A rectangle is another kind of quadrilateral. How are a rhombus and a rectangle the same, and how are they different? So we're going to be doing some comparing and contrasting with these questions below. Which of the 2 shapes has 4 sides and 4 angles? It is both. Which of the 2 shapes has 2 pairs of sides that are the same length? When you're talking about a pair, it's usually opposite of each other. That's a pair, and that's a pair, and then this is a pair, and this is a pair. So which of the 2 shapes has 2 pairs of sides that are the same length? Again, that would be both. Which of the 2 shapes has 4 sides that are the same length? That would be the rhombus. All 4 of those sides are the same length. Which of the 2 shapes has 4 square corners or 90-degree angles, like the types of lines video showed you if you watched that a few moments ago? It is the rectangle. 4 square corners, right angles, 90 degrees. So we can, based on answering these questions now, we can talk about how are the rhombus and rectangle alike and how are they different. Questions A and B help us understand how they're alike. Both shapes have 4 sides and 4 angles and 2 pairs of sides that are the same length. And in contrast, a rhombus has 4 sides that are the same length and no square corners, whereas a rectangle has 4 square corners and not all 4 sides are the same length. So if you've noticed something like that, you're right on track. A quadrilateral is any shape with 4 sides and 4 angles. As I'm going through these slides, we're also going to be filling in the quadrilateral chart. I sent you that in an email. If you're aware, you can print that out, and you'll be filling that in, following along with me. If not, I don't expect you to draw out that chart. You'll just have to fill it in when you return to school. So let's work on that now. You can name quadrilaterals using their attributes. An attribute is a way to describe a shape, like the number of sides or length of sides. One attribute is 4 sides. Another attribute is saying that a shape has at least 1 square corner. So on this quadrilateral chart, if you have it printed out, if you'll fill in this top box where it says quadrilaterals underneath, fill in polygons with 4 sides and 4 angles, and pause the video so that you can do that. I'm going to continue moving on, but pause at different intervals when you need to fill in the chart. A quadrilateral is a parallelogram if it has 2 pairs of parallel sides and 2 pairs of sides that are the same length. Sides are parallel if they are always the same distance apart, like the video showed us that. A student in class today said they have come across these type questions about parallelograms and parallel lines, answering questions in Prodigy. So here are 2 examples of parallelograms, and here's 2 non-examples. These are 2 pairs of sides that are the same length, and they say the same distance apart on both of these shapes. These are not parallelograms. While the top and the bottom are, say, the same distance apart, they are not the same length. Back to your chart. Parallelogram. Come down one box. And if you'll fill in the attributes of a parallelogram, 2 bullets. The first bullet, put 2 pairs of parallel sides. Beside the second bullet, put opposite sides are equal. Pause the video so you can fill that in. Next, we're talking about a rectangle. A quadrilateral is a rectangle if it has 4 square corners, 4 right angles, 4 angles that are 90 degrees. A rectangle also has 2 pairs of parallel sides and 2 pairs of sides that are the same length. So here's your examples of rectangles. This is a pair of parallel sides, and they're the same length. This is a pair of parallel sides, and they are the same length. The reason this is not a rectangle, why do you think that is? Because it doesn't have 4 square corners. Right? Those are not square corners. They're not 90 degrees. They don't make L's going in different directions. This one is not a rectangle because this side and this side are not parallel. If we were to extend these line segments, they would eventually intersect. So that would keep those from being parallel. You'll go back to your chart again. We're ready to fill in the attributes of a rectangle based on this slide we just read. And here they are. You have 2 bullets. You'll need to put a third bullet below the box. So a rectangle has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Opposite sides are equal in length and 4 square corners. Pause the video and fill in that part of your chart, please. A quadrilateral is a rhombus if it has 2 pairs of parallel sides and 4 sides that are all the same length. So there's examples of rhombuses that have 2 pairs of parallel sides and 4 sides are all the same length, and then non-examples. These do not have all 4 sides the same length, and this side and this side are not. I don't think any of these are actually parallel were we to extend them out. A rhombus, back to your chart. You'll need to add a third bullet on this one as well. 2 pairs of parallel sides, opposite sides are equal in length, and then the third bullet should say 4 sides are equal in length. All sides are equal. A square is a quadrilateral. Explain what a square is by writing about its sides and corners. We did that in class. If you want to take a moment to think about that, you can. We're going to move on. The quick check is right here, but I'm going to jump back over to the chart. We have a couple more sections we need to fill in. You need to fill in the square section with these attributes. 2 pairs of parallel sides, all 4 sides are equal, 4 square corners. Pause the video and fill that in. And then the other part is a trapezoid. For our 3rd grade learning about shapes, we're just going to say a shape, we can call it a trapezoid if it has 4 sides and 4 angles, and it has 1 pair of parallel sides. We're going to give it the special name trapezoid. So you can pause the video and write that down. And then our quick check for today. See if you can come up with the answer. Pause the video and then check with me to see that you got it right. The best name for this figure, based on all the attributes we've been talking about for quadrilaterals, certainly it would not be a triangle. We know that. It is not a square because it does not have 4 square corners. Rectangle Again, it does not have 4 square corners. So we have to go with rhombus. It has all sides that are equal length based on our chart. So the correct answer is A. That is it for today's lesson. You may go on and write down the answers for math practice pages 355 and 356 that were emailed to you. If you do not have a printer, you just simply look at those pages and write your answer down on a piece of paper, and then take a picture of those, get your parent to take a picture of those, and email that back to me so I know that you've completed your work for today. Please let me know if you have any questions.